Hello everyone, Untitled, welcome to another mod overview, this time on Karam, a mod that simply adds in apparently a bunch of useless and useful things, with RGB support and a ton of other blocks and such. So, I'll just take a look at this part as well, just in case. So let's see, as you can see, you've got the dev null, which is simply an apple and cobblestone, and filters items out of your inventory. So the currently selected filtering is air. You've got elevators, which are just wool and ender pearls, an Rgbifier, which is any of the 3 dyes, of course, or all of the 3 dyes, and some planks. Flat color block has no recipe, and the ender stopper has a recipe. So yeah, so we just right click or shift right click. More so, we can specify what blocks. So if we just put, for example, cobble in here, it's currently now filtering cobble. And if we, for example, pick up cobble, I assume it will completely ignore it. Can we pick it up? Yeah, so it's going to completely ignore the cobblestone, it seems. We pick up polished diorite. Yeah. So you'll pick up pretty much anything else, like I assume ores if you're mining, and it'll completely ignore the cobblestone entirely, unless I remove the dev null from my inventory. And this will pretty much be a way of just ignoring anything else, rather than just being the whole. I think what a dev null was, and what dank null is in that, on like more newer versions, is that it would be for like you could still pick up stuff, but it would void the rest after it had like a stack or something in here, maybe. So like any additional cobblestone, if you had a full inventory, for example, it wouldn't. But in this case, it seems to be that it's for just filtering stuff that you don't want to pick up, and picking up everything else besides that one block. Obviously, you need probably multiple of these, so that you can store more, since there's only one slot. But yeah, at least as far as I remember of what a dev null was back in the day, or the dank nulls are. But yeah. Next we have a elevator, which is like so, which just simply obviously allows you to go up and down floors. You can't obviously go sideways. I'll just break this one, for example. You can do that. We'll actually try a dye and see if you can actually change the color of these. You cannot, and it's any wool color here when making it, so it's only this single elevator type. It's not like, oh, I want a blue one or pink one or otherwise. All wool is being made for one elevator type, not 16 or 15 different elevator types. So yeah, so if you want different floors, you've got that as an option. We'll test, why not? I'll test the actual height limits of these, and again, I don't know, based on the configs, if there is anything. So we'll take a look, because might as well, when testing elevators, what you're actually capable of. Yeah, we'll just go to here. We'll go to, say, the 64th, or 60-ish range of blocks, and then we'll completely go to 256 and find out. So we can, in fact, not go that far, it seems. Interesting. So there is actually a limit to how many blocks, it seems. I don't know by how much. So is that actually... yeah, it is working, it's just it can't go that far down. What about here? I assume it's like maybe 816 blocks or something, this limit. Yeah, so that's, what, 1 to 20, what else we got? Yeah. Oops, I'm gonna try and do that one, of course. I guess we have a limit of maybe 21, 22-ish there, so that's the limit there, so you can't go from, like, the top to the bottom of the world easily. You do have a limit, that's good to know. Next, we've got the Rgbifier, which I don't know about. Let's see. So does that mean it works for blocks then? So you put a block in and it converts it? Nope, we're not crashing. Okay, just a very particularly working scroll bar. So what we got here? Apply? Is it for wool, for example? I don't know. Wool, apply, hang on, no, I've got, or is it for like maps or paintings or something? What does it do? A few things it doesn't state there. Is there any Cool things. There's the elevator distance, which is 30 blocks apparently there in the image, but I don't know anything else. It's the GitHub page state anything. There is no wiki, and there is just that, so I don't really know what that does. I'll have to check changelogs, because that's the closest I've got to finding out what it does. Let's see. It just says that a bunch of bug fixes. That doesn't really help. I just selected the same one in the stopper. Rgbifier, I assume is here. RGB Lanterns. Okay, so I assume that means maybe colored lanterns then? So lanterns or lamps, for example. Obviously lanterns I'm not expecting, but either way, so lantern. Ah, okay, interesting. That's not going to change that. No, so it's not going to change blocks, but it's going to change the lanterns, specifically the one that you make with iron nuggets and a torch. Now, can we do actually other lanterns as well? The soulfire one at all? We cannot. No, so it only changes the regular overworld lantern, I guess you could say. So that's interesting. Good to know. That's an interesting use of a feature compared to just being like adding multiple types of lanterns just to accommodate like 16 colors. The dyeable, you can now change it to whatever color you want. That is really cool. Just like one of the other ones I've covered before, which was like the vertical slabs one. Then you can apply that instead of just like taking it out all the time. That is cool. And it actually keeps it as well, so it keeps the color coding as well. Now, if you do this at night, I don't think it's going to change like the actual lighting area sort of thing at all. No, so that's just still going to be what you would expect. It's still just going to be the typical there. It's not expanding upon the actual light aspect there. It's just the color of the block now is that. That's cool. So that's what that's for, it seems. We've got flat color blocks, which I assume can also be applied with colors, instead of just trying to put other blocks in and then thinking it'll work, like for the lantern. So this is what your actual colored blocks will be, changeable width. We'll just go with that. We've got a different color there. You get the idea, of course, but obviously there's no recipe, so you'd have to add that via MBT crafting, or you'll probably just use this in creative anyway, so there's not really much point in a recipe, I guess.